Hi there, it's Catherine, and welcome to my weekly vlog. Wow, what a ride! Oh my God, wow, what a ride is right. Um, Gail is going to join me in a little bit. We're just coming from a meeting, and we want to share a little bit about what we're doing and what's been happening. So I want to check in and say that I am still in the process of mending from my trip to South Carolina, mostly the flight. I want to remind folks that we are having a fireside chat webinar on Friday, December 16th about travel because I learned a lot. Um, you know, I think I said this before, but somebody asked me, and I think it was in one of these, either our Friday session or in one of the special interest groups about travel and what we needed to know about travel. And so much of my travel had come before COVID. Oh, hold on, Gail just got here. Hi, Gail.
Hi, Catherine. Hello, everybody.
I was just sort of I told people you were coming. Let me finish up. So someone had asked about travel, and I was basing it on all the travel that I did for years before COVID, and actually up until 2018, I think, which is the last time that I traveled, because then I was experiencing a loss of mobility and was having a lot of trouble before I got my hip replaced. So, through that whole process, I had done a fair amount of travel, and towards the end, it was getting dicey. But anyway, I learned a lot. So, Kelly Bell, who's been a speaker at a number of our symposiums, Gail, Leslin, Shaban, and myself will be doing a fireside chat. Come, we're going to be giving information. We're going to be talking about what we're learning and making some recommendations, especially if you're planning to travel. So I asked Gail to come on because we just finished a meeting that grew out of our event in October, the Heart to Heart event, where we have been putting together wisdom circles. So, Gail, I want to let you explain a little bit about what we're doing and how it's been evolving and how the community is very much involved.
So, Catherine and Dr. Carmody have been working on this with each other in their brains. They put their heads together, and they decided that it would be really nice for the community to come in and put our heads together with theirs. Dr. Carmody has said forever. I mean, I haven't known him except through Catherine, but one of the things he always says to us is that the wisdom is in the patient, that we know ourselves better than anybody knows us, right? We know what we react to. We know our pain. We know whatever we're dealing with, regardless of who the patient is, the wisdom is within the patient. And so his practice with Catherine, he had to listen, butt heads with Catherine, all that stuff. She's told her story so many times about Dr. Carmody, about her and Dr. Carmody's relationship as patient and care provider, and then as, of course, as both wise people figuring things out. So they've brought it to us as an emergence, that we're going to emerge with these wonderful answers to all of our questions, or to as many questions as we can get answered. But we all know that all the answers are out there. We just have to ask the right questions to get there. And so what we've done is we've started with the community, inviting the community in We're committing to a year of this. We're going to work together in small groups. We're going to come back together in big groups, and we are going to see what emerges. So in the last couple of months, what we've done is we've thrown together all of our ideas. We had a question: what do we know about living with lipedema? And what do we want to know about living with lipedema? And we just spent like a week, 2 weeks, just all of us putting on like sticky notes, like Post-its. We just kept throwing ideas. This is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we
Electronically,
want.
digitally. It was a
Yes, digitally.
digital board.
It's basically like a great big bulletin board, right? And all we're doing with that bulletin board is putting sticky notes on it, and it's a digital one. And so we just kept, anytime an idea came to us, we put that idea up. And then a smaller group, a subgroup, took all those sticky notes,
And there were hundreds of them.
hundreds, yeah, and are organizing them into broader categories, and then more specific categories, and how they're related to the holistic approach that we have. So we have 5 main categories in the holistic approach, and we discovered that we had a category that we hadn't addressed yet, right? It's called financial. Okay, that's like a totally different category. And then we found that we had things that we didn't quite know where to put, and we have a parking lot called the Gap. You know, and if we don't know where it goes, we can't figure it out quite yet. We put it in there, and we categorized all these. And so today, what we did is we broke into small groups. The large group broke into small groups to just take a look, to see what's out there, and did we miss something? And then to find the key points. And we each took a category. And I shouldn't say each, but each small group took a category to look at it. Well, some of the categories are smaller, and some of the categories are larger. And like the larger category, we realized we have to look at this in, we have to break it down to look at it, because it was too big to look at by 10 people and say, oh yeah, we got something out of that, because there was so much in that one. And it's all about education. So this is what we're doing so far. And so we're collaborating, we're putting our heads together, trying to figure out what it all means, and trying to come up with questions so that we can find the answers, because the answers are out there.
And so it is beyond exciting. Dr. Carmody is part of the process, which is lovely, since he brings so many years of medical knowledge and experience and respect for all of us and our experience. Julie says it was so exciting. So we are hot on the trail. I feel Leslyn's books, she uses a magnifying glass and Sherlock Holmes as a metaphor. And I think we're doing a Sherlock Holmes. We're really looking at putting all the pieces together. So if you're interested, make sure you email us. We meet monthly, and there's opportunities for your voice to be heard. And it's such an exciting endeavor. I want to call it an endeavor. Like, we don't, it's, we have some processes, we have lots of voices. We're really looking at collective intelligence. Like, how do we as a community put all the pieces together? So it's a very exciting thing. So I asked Gail to come on and talk about it, because we're doing it together. And and Julie says it was so exciting. Yes, it was. So we're in the holiday season, and I just want to remind folks that Gail has a Wednesday night alumni for anyone who's done any of the special interest groups. So make sure that you put that in your calendar, because it's through the holidays that we need support more than any other time.
And make sure that you use the link that Isla sends you in the reminder email, because it's going to be a different link for this month only. So make sure that you respond in that. And there's no registration needed. Just use that email.
So, yeah. So that's the weekly vlog for this week.
Oh, but there's one more thing, Catherine.
Oh,
We
there's
really have
one
to
more
do.
thing.
There's one more thing. We have to talk about the lymphedema act.
Oh, yeah. The Lymphedema Treatment Act. Okay, let me talk about it. Let me get the link. So they have been, wait a second. Oh my God, I'm so foggy from being sick.
Here, I'll pull it up if you need me to.
No, I got it.
Okay.
So the Lymphedema Treatment Act has been in process for years, 10 years, 10, 12 years. And I'm putting it, where am I putting it? I know, I'm going to put it as a banner. That's what I'll do here. And after 10 or 12 years of a lot of lobbying, I actually have been to Washington and lobbied. It's just lymphedema-treatment-act.org. And literally talking to hundreds of representatives and senators. It passed the House 2 weeks ago. So the bill actually passed the House 2 weeks ago. It's now has to go to the Senate. And the issue is this. They only, it's because we had how did you make that?
You have to click on where it says scroll, you uncheck scroll. That way it's bigger and easier to keep their eyes on.
Oh my God, that's fabulous. I just learned something. Thank you, Gail.
You're welcome.
So with the lame duck session, they only have a few weeks to pass the Senate. So if you go to this website, there are instructions on how you can contact your senator. Now, that may sound like, what's that going to do? It does a lot. You don't even have to talk to anyone. You leave a message. You say, "Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm a constituent here in Massachusetts, and I'm calling to support the Lymphedema Treatment Act. It's due up for a vote in the Senate during the lame duck. It's taken a long time to get through the House. It's a very important bill because it affects a population who have a chronic disease. If left without compression garments, can often end up hospitalized and costs the government way more money than a set of compression hose that can actually help manage the disease. So there's scripts that you can use. Call your senator, please, and just leave a message. There's a 212 number for all the senators. It goes to their Washington, D.C. offices, and they're very friendly. I mean, you don't ever talk to a senator. Don't worry, you never get anyone. But, sometimes whoever answers the phone, they're, trained to be very nice to all the voters.
Yeah, you just call and you say, I would like to leave a message for my senator, or I'd like to leave a message about, and they ask you the category, you tell them what you want to say, they record it, they write it down, and that message goes out. And it's really helpful to get your voice heard.
What?
Somebody here said, I called to put in my support and called my senator, Mr. Blumenthal, directly. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, really. And I've called Elizabeth Warren and Markey, who are the senators from Massachusetts, and their offices are just responsive. And I always say, no need for a call back or an email or anything. I just want to give you my message and really encourage the senator to support this.
Yeah. And so Catherine, what's going to happen if it doesn't get through the Senate?
It has to go back again. So the problem is, and it's not even a problem, but the issue is that if it doesn't go through the Senate before the next Congress starts in January, it has to go through the House again because it's a new House. And so it's just, we're hoping that that doesn't happen because they got 403 votes in the House of Representatives, which is
That's
unheard of.
unheard of.
It's unheard of these days. So the
Right.
fact that they got so many yays. So, yeah. All right. So join us. Let's see if we can help get it over the hump. That would be such a good celebration for everyone. And thank you for coming on, Gail. I called Gail just as we were just the meeting ended, and I just came on to the Facebook for the Facebook Live, and I thought, oh my God, let me get Gail. So I called her and I said, come on, I want you to come and we can chat about it a little bit. And both of us missed the Facebook Live on Friday because I was sick and Gail was traveling.
So Siobhan and Leslin did it by themselves?
No,
Or Siobhan?
did it.
I gotta go. I should have watched it. I haven't looked
did a
at it
great
yet. I better
job.
go back and watch my replays.
Yeah, she did a great job. It's the replays on Facebook and on YouTube.
Oh, cool. I know Tuesday, my Facebook YouTube Live on Tuesday, I'm going to have Adi McKenzie on there. She's a certified
good.
lymphatic therapist, and she's one of our coaches, and I'm really excited. It'll be her first time on. I'm loving my Facebook Live Tuesdays.
Oh,
They've become really fun.
Oh, yeah, and they're so good. And I'll
Yeah.
be doing one with you sometime. I know I signed
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
you're scheduled for the 27th
Oh,
of
good.
December.
Oh, good. Then
See how I keep them all memorized.
that's good, Gail. Very good.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say thanks everyone for stopping by. And it's so good to connect, and we will be seeing you soon. Much love. Happy holidays.